Don't underestimate yourself. 18-year-old Maya Evans had always been the quiet one. In a world that moved fast and loud, she found solace in silence. She was the girl who sat in the back of the classroom, her nose buried in books, rarely raising her hand. Teachers often praised her grades, but lamented her shyness. Her classmates barely noticed her presence. If asked to describe her, they might say, smart, but invisible. Maya never believed she was anything special. She wasn't athletic, didn't have a wide circle of friends, and certainly didn't think she had what it took to lead or shine. Every time she stood in front of a mirror, she saw a girl who was average at best. Her older brother, Jason, had been the golden child, captain of the football team, top of his class, now studying engineering at MIT. Maya, in contrast, felt like the shadow he left behind. At home, she lived in a world of comparisons. Jason would have done this faster, her father often remarked, not out of malice, but as a matter-of-fact observation. Her mother, loving yet practical, always said, "Not everyone can be extraordinary, sweetie. Some of us just do what we can." And so, Maya learned to stay small. It was Mrs. Alden, her literature teacher, who first saw something in Maya that others had overlooked. "Your essay on The Great Gatsby was remarkable," Mrs. Alden said one afternoon as Maya stayed behind to return a book. "You have a gift for expression." Maya looked down, embarrassed. "I just wrote what I felt." "That's exactly the point," Mrs. Alden smiled. "Most people don't know how to articulate their feelings. You do. Have you ever thought about writing for the school paper?" Maya shook her head. "I don't think I'm that good." Mrs. Alden tilted her head. "Don't underestimate yourself." 3 simple words, but they stuck. That evening, Maya stared at a blank Google Doc on her laptop. The idea of submitting an article terrified her. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard, unsure, hesitant. But then she remembered Mrs. Alden's voice. "Don't underestimate yourself." She wrote a short editorial about how high school culture undervalues introverts, the quiet students who observe, listen, and think deeply, but are often overlooked. It was personal, raw, and honest. She sent it anonymously to the school newspaper's editor. A week later, the article was published with the headline, "The Power of Quiet." The response was overwhelming. Students shared it across social media. Teachers discussed it in class. And for the first time, Maya felt seen. Even though her name wasn't on it, a few students began whispering, "I think Maya wrote that." But not everyone was supportive. One afternoon in the cafeteria, she overheard Tyler Banks, a popular senior and aspiring YouTuber, laughing. "That introvert article? Whoever wrote it is just salty because no one notices them." Cry me a river. Maya felt the familiar sting of self-doubt. She'd been foolish to think her words mattered. She went back to hiding in the library during lunch breaks, avoiding the buzz her article had created. When Mrs. Alden asked why she hadn't followed up with another piece, Maya shrugged. Maybe the first one was just luck. Mrs. Alden frowned. "Maya, growth comes with resistance. People mock what they don't understand. But that doesn't mean you're wrong." A month passed. Then, too, Maya kept her head down, avoiding the spotlight. Then one day, Principal Harmon made an announcement. "This year, we'll be launching a school-wide project to address mental health and student well-being. We're forming a student committee, and we're looking for someone to lead the writing and communications team." Before Maya could look away, Mrs. Alden caught her eye across the hallway and mouthed, "You." Everything inside Maya wanted to retreat. But something deeper, something newly awakened, pushed her forward. That night, she filled out the application. She still didn't believe she was the best choice, but maybe, just maybe, she had something worth saying. A week later, she was selected. Leading a team was terrifying. Maya had never given directions to others, let alone led meetings. The first time she stood in front of the committee, her voice shook. But she kept going. Every time she doubted herself, she remembered how her first article had resonated. She wasn't speaking for herself, Alonesh was speaking for every student who felt small, overlooked, and unheard. Together with her team, she created a series of blog posts, interviews, and digital posters that talked about anxiety, burnout, academic pressure, and self-worth. She encouraged her peers to share their own stories anonymously, just like she had. The campaign went viral within the school. By spring, Maya had become something of a symbol not of perfection or popularity, but of authenticity. She was invited to speak at the school assembly. Standing on stage in front of hundreds of students, Maya took a deep breath and said, "When I was younger, I believed I didn't matter. I thought being quiet meant being weak. I believed that because I wasn't loud or outgoing, I didn't have value. But I was wrong. Being quiet doesn't mean you don't have something powerful to say. Being overlooked doesn't mean you lack worth. Every one of us carries something meaningful inside. We just have to find the courage to share it." The auditorium erupted in applause. She cried afterward, not because she was sad, but because, for the first time in her life, she truly believed her own words. Maya graduated with honors that year. Not as valedictorian, not as prom queen, but as someone who had sparked change. She received letters from students she had never met. A sophomore struggling with depression who found hope in her words. A freshman with social anxiety who finally joined the club. Even a teacher who said Maya reminded her why she became an educator. She went on to study journalism in college and later launched a non-profit media platform that amplified youth voices on mental health, identity, and social justice. She often returned to her high school as a guest speaker. One day, after a talk, a shy student approached her and said, "I want to write, but I don't think I'm good enough." Maya smiled gently and replied, "Don't underestimate yourself. Self-doubt is a clever enemy. It whispers lies, disguising them as truth. It tells us we're not good enough, not talented enough, not important enough, but it is wrong. The moment we choose to believe that our voice matters, that we matter, we begin to reclaim the power we've always had." Maya's journey wasn't about becoming perfect. It was about becoming real. And in that, she found the strength to transform not just her life, but the lives of those around her.